usually, it's either this or playing guitar like Derek Bailey, learning to play guitar like Derek Bailey. Hitchhiking stories are good because they're pure chance. You go to the side of the road. The first time I ever hitchhiked or decided to hitchhike was in Ithaca. And I was walking out of town, and I'm thinking, should I walk up to that road there and walk in that direction? Should I start hitchhiking now? Should I start putting the thumb out now, or should I wait till I get up there? I'm like, do it now. Put the thumb out. First car pulls over, and it's like, what a rush. What a rush. The car stops, pulls over. Where are you going? Well, I'm going to Route 89. Oh, yeah, I can take you there. And it's like, oh, man. I was hitchhiking to see my brother in Syracuse. And it only took that morning. So I got there by noon, 1 o'clock. The thing is, when you're close to a town, that's the toughest place. Like if they let you off at the edge of town, usually you end up walking into town. So you got to be ready to do a lot of walking. I've hitchhiked every month of the year, at least, and even February. It's February now, and the time I hitchhiked in February, I was stranded for 6 hours in Syracuse, and it was snowy, and it was cold, and I was freezing. I was coming back from seeing my girlfriend at Clinton Hamilton College, and she dropped me off the expressway. I say, oh, you want the Reese's peanut butter cups? Oh, you'll need them when you're stranded. And I'm like, oh, don't prophesize like that. And of course I was stranded. That was funny. But right when she dropped me off, I got a ride immediately like that. Like someone just stopped and like I was already picked up before she'd left with her friends. And then got a ride to Syracuse, and I sat in Syracuse. I did nothing in Syracuse. I got let off an expressway, waiting at one of the exits, one of the toll booths. 2 or 3 hours pass. Oh, Jesus, I'm cold. So then I'm hitching every car, pick me up, please pick me up. And of course, when you're really desperate, no one picks you up. Then this one guy picks me up, and he picks me up, we get on the expressway. He's like, hi, how you doing? I'm like, okay, good. You know, I was down in Florida, and I saw the blue lights, the flashing red lights, and the yellow lights too. I saw them all flashing, and I'm like, that's good. Just let me off the next exit. I didn't want to hear about the flashing lights, because I'm not sure what he was talking about, but it could have been anything. It could have been UFOs, it could have been police cars, which is, you know, a real life experience that many people have. But it's just like, I could sense it could be an out-of-control situation. So he let me off the next exit in Syracuse, which was all he was going. He was just going. So I was like right in the middle of Syracuse at one of the exits on Route 90. And there's no traffic going towards Rochester at that exit, because all the traffic from Syracuse going to Rochester is at exit 39, because that's where all the traffic flows going west there. So I'm standing at this exit for another 3 hours. It's getting to be around 3:30 in the afternoon, and I start to think, when the sun goes down, no one wants to pick you up. No one likes you when the sun goes down, because you're not that friendly guy by the side of the road who's going to bring them luck. You're a stranger. You're a threat. You're all these things. It isn't entirely true, but it's harder to hitchhike at night. So I think, Jesus, I gotta get to exit 39. I gotta get there. So what am I gonna do? I'll run on the expressway. That's it. I'll get on the expressway and run. So I climb up on the expressway, and it's like really busy. It's like there's cars both ways. So I don't know. I cross over to the side with traffic. I'm running with traffic, and I'm like, this is completely psychotic. This is crazy. All these cars going 60, 70 miles per hour, and you're running along the side of the road. Not to mention, it's illegal. And then I see cops coming up ahead, and I'm just like, and I'm running. I'm like, are they going to pick me up? And a trailer, an 18-wheeler, perfectly shadowed me from the cop. It was just like perfect timing. Then I'm like, was really, I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to get picked up right now. So I just said, okay, I'm going to run alongside the thruway. I'm going to run and follow the thruway, like through people's yards and through the grass embankment that's near these. And that wasn't bad. I did that for a couple miles, and it was snow too. I was running in the snow. I think I covered 2 or 3 miles. And I'm just like, you know, trying to keep a steady pace, jogging, running, going through people's backyards, and there are no dogs. Cool, no dogs, great, because the dogs can be a problem. Then I'm coming through this park, and I come to this park, and like I come to this water, and there's a lake in the way after I go through these woods, and then I come to the lake, and I go, I used to come here in high school. I used to come to this exact park with another old girlfriend. Funny, those old girlfriends that keep popping up. But so then I was like, well, how do I cross this water? I gotta go on the expressway, to use the expressway bridge to cross over the water of this it was either a lake or a pond or a river. Could have been one of the 3. But so I jump on the expressway there, and when you know it, just when I jump up, a cop right there pulls over. I'm like, well, I guess I better go talk to the cop. So I go over there. It's a young black guy. It's like, he asked me, what are you doing on the expressway? I'm like, well, I'm just crossing over the expressway here to walk to exit 39 so I can hitchhike to Rochester. He's like, do you know it's illegal to be on the expressway? Yep, I know, but I was just going to walk over in this short spot here, cross over, and then I was going to walk around there, and I'm going to walk to exit 39 and hitchhike to Rochester. See, I had to let him know I had direction in my life, purpose. And then he asked me, do you have a job? And I'm like, no. Are you a student? No. Get in the car. So I got in the car. It's like, do you have any identification? I'm like, oh yeah, I got some of that. So I gave him my driver's license and showed that to him, and I guess he called in the numbers. They do whatever they do with the numbers to see if I came up on any lists that might be important. Special. But I guess I wasn't that special. So he just said, I'm going to write you a ticket. I'm going to drive you to exit 39. I'm like, all right, yes, thank you. You give me a ride to exit 39. Thank you very much. Thank you. Going around. And we talk a little bit. I forget what we talk about. We get right to exit 39, and he says, I'm not going to write you a ticket, but if you get caught again, it'll be criminal trespassing. I promise not to walk on the expressway ever again. So he drops me off there. It's around probably 4:30, going on 5. It's dark. And I start hitchhiking. The first car stops within 5 minutes. And it's a Rastafarian dude. And he's going to Rochester. You want the ride? Thank you. Yes. We get on the expressway. You smoke herb? Yes. Yes, I smoke herb. So it was a very happy ride. But then he told me about the Rastafarian beliefs and how it hooks up with the New Testament. And the Old Testament, actually, Solomon and Sheba. And there is a part in the Old Testament where Sheba, Queen of Ethiopia, goes to see Solomon. And in the Bible, I forget which book it is, but in the Bible, Sheba brings all these gifts and wants to see if Solomon's as wise, as great a ruler as he's supposed to be. And he comes there and she says, wow, you really are a great ruler. And Solomon says, you're not half so bad yourself. And that's the way they leave it in the book. Supposedly, though, they get it on. Sheba goes back to Ethiopia. She has a child by King Solomon. Supposedly looks just like him. And when the child grows up, the child goes to visit Solomon and live in his court and live in his world. And then God sends a message down to Solomon and Sheba's son. I'm spacing on his name now. It'll come to me some days. The Book of Maccabees, supposedly it's in. But he says, hey, Solomon's out of favor. You take the Ark of the Covenant. You take it into Ethiopia. And suppose this, okay. So they took it, they stole it, or they took it to its new place, and they just started cruising out of Egypt. And every town they came to, people thought it was Solomon because he looked just like his dad, supposedly. So they kept hustling and moving. Solomon and his men kept chasing after him, but they kept getting farther and farther ahead until they couldn't figure out where they had gone anymore. So supposedly the Ark of the Covenant is somewhere in Ethiopia. And this is the story he was telling me there. He also told me about how the slavery of the people from Africa and America was different than any other slavery. There's been slavery in different parts of the world, but the slavery of Africans, their names were changed, their families were broken up. The big thing was their connection with the great mother and great father before them, because their connections with their mother and father were cut off. Their connections back to the great mother and father were cut off also, or attempted to cut off. And that's why slavery in this country is much different than other slaveries, where people still had families and still had their names. Here the names were changed. So that was a very potent story. So it wasn't all fun and games there, getting high in the car. It wasn't like that. I did a nude scene once here in Rochester. My mother came to see it, but I didn't know.
Oh man,
It was really exciting. Oh, she didn't tell me she was coming.